In this video, I want to share 3 ways to keep your legal bill down. Now, we do a lot of flat fees or very short advice meetings, so we don't actually have a lot of bills that get kind of out of control and really big, but that can happen with litigation for sure. And sometimes we do go to court with clients for guardian applications where we do charge an hourly rate because the time is quite unpredictable. And pretty much any lawyer can attest that the bill will be dictated by the client's conduct. So there are things clients can do to keep the bill as low as possible. So here are 3 tips that will hopefully work with any lawyer that you work with. So tip number 1 is to be organized. If lawyers are billing by the hour, then the client that has a piece of paper over here, a send a PDF over here, none of the files have names or dates, and it's at one big mess, that's going to take a lot of time for a lawyer or staff members at the law firm who maybe are being charged out. It takes a lot of time to organize that. So when a client is really organized, it saves everybody time. That can mean delivering all the documents at one time. It can mean creating a timeline or putting things in chronological order, or something as simple as labeling the files. So instead of a bunch of files, 30 PDFs without names, documents that say what those items are, it saves a ton of time. So organization can save you money. The second tip is to ask for homework. There are some things that it doesn't make sense to delegate to clients, but on some files, it can make loads of sense for clients to get involved and roll up their sleeves and do some of the work. That can be making phone calls, collecting documents or organizing things, or even writing their own first draft of their affidavit. Will the lawyer revise it? Almost certainly, but a client can actually spend the time, go into Microsoft Word, maybe ask for categories, and spend that time reflecting and making jot notes that then can be sent to the lawyer, rearranged, copied, pasted, and modified a bit, but at least some of the first draft could potentially be drafted by a client who is able to spend the time and who writes reasonably well. So asking for homework is something that in some cases can actually work to help save a little bit of money. The third tip is to keep your eye on the prize. It's really easy to get distracted. In a lot of litigation files where there is conflict, people get distracted by the personality conflicts, by the person who's saying negative things about them, or wanting to prove a point, or there's some grudge that's kind of coming out. And certainly we can see this with guardianship cases, with end-of-life disputes, where kids are in conflict about making decisions for a parent, in childhood fights that they had when they were kids about who's the favorite, for example. That stuff comes up. And it gets ugly, and it makes things more expensive than necessary if people are spending the time asking their lawyers to say this, send this, defend this. It's a distraction. The judges don't want to see that, or the tribunals, the public guardian trustee, whoever we're dealing with, they don't usually want to see all that drama. They want you to focus in the work that we do here. It's usually about the interests of the incapable person. If someone lacks capacity, what do they need? What's in their best interest? Who makes their decisions? Keeping your eye on the prize in our context has to do with that, the best interest of the incapable person. In other law firms, keeping the eye on the prize might mean winning at the end of the day and not getting distracted by the side arguments, but really being focused on what's the strategy, what are we trying to achieve, and not get distracted and pulled into all the different directions. Even if sometimes it's tempting to say something nasty because it feels good, it doesn't necessarily help the case, and can end up meaning that a lawyer is spending time writing things or responding to things that just eat up your money and don't necessarily help the case at all. So those are my 3 tips. Be organized, ask for homework, and keep your eye on the prize. Hopefully that helps somebody save some money. So I hope you learned something new, and I'll see you in the next video.